We seek to cleanse the body, but what of the mind? The promise of a quick fix for the physical vessel is seductive, yet the deepest blockages, the ones that truly weigh us down, are never seen, never touched. They are the residue of a life lived in haste, a spirit cluttered with noise. The true purification is an internal one. 99% will click away now, searching for a simple recipe they will never make. They will miss the understanding of why the body becomes burdened in the first place. The cost of leaving this space now is to remain a slave to the symptoms, never mastering the cause. To continue accumulating the inner waste that manifests as outer disease. This journey requires patience. It is for those who are ready to stop looking for a cure and start cultivating clarity. The real transformation is not in a glass. It is in your awareness. It does not take 10 minutes. It takes a lifetime of practice, but it begins in a single dedicated moment. The moment you decide to turn your attention inward. What you are about to receive is not a potion, but a perspective. A way of seeing that, once adopted, begins a cleansing so profound it ripples from your thoughts out to the very cells of your body. Let us begin. You arrived here with a question, a hope, a title made a promise, and in our world, promises of speed and ease are the most powerful currency to cleanse the entire system in a mere 10 minutes. It speaks to a deep and universal longing, the desire for renewal, for a fresh start, to wash away the accumulated weight of our days, our choices, our consumption. We feel heavy, we feel slow, we feel stuck. And the idea that a single glass of something can unburden us is perhaps the most powerful story we are told in modern times. But I must ask you to look deeper than the story, to look at the storyteller, your own desire. Why does this promise of a quick fix hold such power over you? It is because the alternative, the true path to purity, requires something far more valuable than a handful of ingredients. It requires your focused presence. The secret you are looking for is not a mixture of fruits or herbs. The secret is a method of inner cultivation. The cleansing is the removal of mental and emotional plaque. The 10 minutes is the sacred time you dedicate to this practice. And the one glass is the full measure of your attention, which you will learn to drink from as if it were the most nourishing elixir in the universe. We have been taught to look for solutions outside of ourselves. We buy products, we follow diets, we seek gurus, all in the hope that something external will fix what is imbalanced internally. But the body is merely a reflection of the mind. The gut, the colon, this intricate system of processing and elimination does not just process food. It processes experience, it processes emotion, it processes stress. When your inner world is cluttered with undigested thoughts, with anxieties that loop endlessly, with resentments you have held onto for years, where do you think that energy goes? It does not simply vanish. It settles in the body. It creates tension in the muscles, inflammation in the joints, and yes, it creates blockages in the systems of elimination. You can drink every cleanse in the world, but if you do not address the source of the contamination, the chaotic state of your own mind, you are merely sweeping the floor while the house is on fire. The promise of this time together is far greater than a temporary physical purge. The promise is to give you the tool to begin a permanent, sustainable, and profound cleansing of your entire being, starting from the inside out. This is the path to lightness, not the temporary lightness of an empty stomach, but the enduring lightness of a clear mind. The world trains us for distraction. It rewards multitasking. It celebrates the hustle. And in doing so, it guides us away from the one place where true healing can occur, the silent, still center within ourselves. The drink we will prepare is one of stillness. The ingredients are your breath, your posture, and your unwavering decision to be present. This is a far more potent concoction than anything you can blend in a kitchen. It is the medicine your soul has been thirsting for, and its effects on the physical body are a natural consequence of this inner alignment. So, let go of the expectation of a simple recipe. Open your mind to the possibility that the most powerful transformations are not consumed, but cultivated. The promise is real, but the method is one that requires you, not something you buy. It requires your courage to sit with yourself, to face the clutter, and to begin the slow, deliberate process of letting go. What is this inner blockage we speak of? Imagine your mind as a home. Every day, information, experiences, conversations, and emotions enter this home. In a healthy, well-maintained home, these things are processed. The useful is integrated, stored as wisdom. The unnecessary, the junk mail of the mind, passing anxieties, other people's opinions, meaningless digital noise, is observed and then discarded. The emotional experiences are felt, honored, and then allowed to pass through, leaving behind the lesson, but not the lingering charge. This is a home with clear pathways, open windows, and fresh air. There is a sense of peace, of order. You know where everything is. You are the master of your own domain. Now, consider the state of the modern mind. The home is not just receiving visitors, it is being bombarded. Hundreds of emails, thousands of social media posts, a constant stream of news designed to provoke fear and outrage, endless advertisements telling you that you are not enough. The doors and windows are blown wide open in a permanent storm. There is no time to process anything. Before one experience is understood, 100 more are piled on top of it. The undigested emotions, a flicker of anger here, a pang of sadness there, are shoved into closets because there is no time to feel them. The intellectual junk mail piles up in every corner. The result is an inner home that is cluttered, chaotic, and suffocating. This is the inner blockage. It is the accumulation of unprocessed life. It is the weight of 1,000 pending decisions. It is the grief you never allowed yourself to feel. It is the forgiveness you have yet to grant, to others or to yourself. It is the noise of the digital world that has become the permanent soundtrack to your life, drowning out the quiet whisper of your own intuition. This clutter is not weightless. It has a profound energetic and eventually physical density. It is the reason you feel tired when you have slept 8 hours. It is the reason you feel restless and agitated even in moments of quiet. It is the reason you seek constant distraction, because the thought of being alone in that cluttered home is unbearable. To cleanse the colon is a physical metaphor for a much deeper spiritual and psychological necessity. We must cleanse the home of the mind. We must open the closets and finally sort through the old emotions. We must sweep the floors clear of the mental junk that serves no purpose. We must create space. We must create silence. This is not a passive process. It is an act of profound discipline and courage. It means turning off the noise deliberately. It means choosing to sit in the discomfort of the clutter and piece by piece begin to sort it out. You cannot hire someone to do this for you. This is the ultimate act of self-responsibility. The blockage is not a monster to be feared. It is simply the result of neglect. It is the natural consequence of living in a world that teaches us to constantly look outward, while our inner world falls into disarray. The first step of the cleanse is simply to stand at the doorway of your inner home and acknowledge the state of things without judgment, but with a clear and unwavering intention to restore order. Our attention is the most vital current of energy we possess. Where attention goes, energy flows. It is the sunlight that allows things to grow in our mental garden. It is the water that carves canyons or nourishes fields. In its natural state, our attention is fluid, powerful, and directed by our will. We can choose to place it on a task, on a loved one, on the beauty of a sunset, and in doing so, we bring our full presence, our full energy to that object. This is the state of mastery. To have a disciplined attention is to be the master of your own life, because you are the one who decides what to nourish with your energy. The modern world, however, has engineered a grand theft of this precious resource. Your attention has been commodified. It is the new gold, and vast, powerful entities are mining it from you every second of every day. Your phone, your apps, the platforms you scroll, they are not free. You pay for them with the currency of your attention. They are designed with the most advanced psychological understanding to be addictive, to hijack your innate neurological reward systems. The short, flashing videos, the endless scroll, the red notification dots, these are not innocent features. They are weapons in a war for your focus. They are designed to break your attention into 1,000 tiny, useless fragments. The result of this constant fragmentation is a state of perpetual inner chaos. Your attention, instead of being a powerful, focused river, becomes a leaky bucket. The energy just drains away. You sit down to do important work, but a phantom vibration in your pocket pulls your mind away. You try to be present with your family, but your thoughts are still lingering on an angry comment you read online. You try to rest, but your brain continues to cycle through the meaningless information it consumed all day. You are present nowhere, and therefore, you are truly alive nowhere. This is the source of the deepest exhaustion. It is not physical fatigue, it is attentional fatigue. Your power source has been depleted, siphoned off to feed algorithms whose only goal is to steal more of it. This compromised flow of attention is a primary contributor to the inner blockage. Without a focused beam of awareness, we cannot process our experiences. We cannot heal. It is like trying to perform delicate surgery with a hand that trembles. To cleanse the inner system, we must first repair the vessel of our attention. We must reclaim it from the thieves. This is not about demonizing technology. It is about establishing a new relationship with it, one where you are the master, not the slave. It means creating sacred times and spaces where technology is not invited. The first few minutes of your day, the last hour before you sleep, meal times. These are opportunities to practice the art of unilateral attention. The drink we are preparing is, in essence, a drink of pure, undiluted attention. For 10 minutes, you will gift yourself this elixir. You will command your attention to rest on one single thing, your breath, the sensations in your body, and you will watch as it tries to wander, pulled by habit into the noisy, cluttered rooms of the mind, and with gentle, firm discipline, you will bring it back. Again and again and again. This is the workout. This is the practice. Each time you bring your attention back, you strengthen the muscle of focus. You begin to seal the leaks in the bucket. You reclaim your energy, your power, your presence. This is the first and most critical step in cleansing your entire being. Before you can clean the house, you must first learn to hold the light steady. The body does not lie. While the mind can trick itself, can create elaborate stories and justifications, the body keeps an honest score. It is the physical printout of your internal state. Every thought, every emotion, every stress you experience sends a cascade of chemical and electrical signals throughout your physical form. A moment of joy can relax your entire nervous system. A flash of anger can tense your shoulders, tighten your jaw, and flood your bloodstream with stress hormones. These are not abstract concepts. They are tangible physiological events. The body and mind are not two separate entities, as our modern thinking often suggests. They are one integrated system, a seamless whole. Think of a tree. If the soil it is rooted in is poor and toxic, the leaves will be yellowed, the branches will be brittle, and the fruit will be sour. You can spray the leaves with water, you can polish the bark, but until you address the quality of the soil, the tree will remain unwell. Your mind, your emotional state, your spiritual ground, this is your soil. Your body is the tree. The health of the body is a direct reflection of the nourishment it receives from its unseen roots. When your mind is in a constant state of agitation, of low-grade fear, of resentment, this is toxic soil. This inner state triggers the body's chronic stress response, the fight-or-flight system that was designed for short-term emergencies. When this system is perpetually activated by mental clutter and emotional turmoil, it has devastating long-term effects. It impairs digestion, it suppresses the immune system, it creates systemic inflammation. Your digestive tract, in particular, is exquisitely sensitive to your emotional state. It is often called the second brain for a reason. It is lined with millions of nerve cells. The feeling of butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous is a very real neurological event. Therefore, a state of chronic mental stress creates a state of chronic digestive distress. The system that is meant to absorb nutrients and eliminate waste becomes sluggish, inflamed, and inefficient. This is the physical manifestation of the inner blockage. So, when we speak of cleansing the colon, we must understand that we are speaking about calming the nervous system. We are talking about changing the chemical environment of the body from one of stress and alarm to one of safety, peace, and regeneration. This cannot be achieved through a physical laxative alone. A laxative may force a temporary evacuation, but it does nothing to change the underlying conditions that created the sluggishness in the first place. It is like screaming at the yellowed leaves of the tree to turn green. The true work is in tending to the soil. The practice of stillness, of bringing the mind to a state of calm, focused presence, is the most powerful way to change your body's chemistry. When you sit in quiet meditation, when you focus on your breath, you are actively shifting your nervous system out of the fight or flight mode and into the rest and digest mode. This is not philosophy, it is physiology. In this state, your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, and blood flow is redirected to the digestive organs, allowing them to function as they were designed. The body's natural healing and cleansing mechanisms are activated. You are creating the internal conditions for health. You are nourishing the soil so that the tree can thrive. The physical lightness, the improved digestion, the clear skin, the deeper sleep, these are not the goals of the practice. They are the beautiful, inevitable side effects of a regulated mind and a calm spirit. Let us now prepare the drink. It requires no blender, no exotic ingredients. It requires only you, a quiet space, and a commitment of 10 minutes. This is the practice. This is the medicine. Find a place where you can sit comfortably, undisturbed. It can be on a cushion on the floor or in a chair. The only requirement is that your spine can be upright but not rigid. A state of dignified alertness. Allow your hands to rest gently on your knees or in your lap. Close your eyes, or if you prefer, let your gaze rest softly on a point on the floor, a few feet in front of you. You are creating a container for your attention. Begin by bringing your awareness to your physical posture. Feel the points of contact between your body and the surface. Beneath you, feel the weight of your body, the gentle pull of gravity. Notice the alignment of your spine, a noble pillar connecting earth and sky. Do not judge it. Do not strive for a perfect posture. Simply bring a gentle, curious awareness to it. Notice any areas of tension, perhaps in your jaw, your shoulders, your belly. Do not try to force them to relax. Simply notice them. The light of awareness itself is what invites softness. Your body has been holding the stresses of your day, of your life. For these 10 minutes, you are simply allowing it to be exactly as it is. Now, bring your attention to the flow of your breath. This will be the anchor for your mind. Do not try to change your breathing. Do not force a deep breath or a slow breath. Your body knows how to breathe. Your only task is to observe it. Feel the sensation of the cool air entering your nostrils. Follow it as it travels down into your lungs. Feel the gentle expansion of your chest and abdomen. And then feel the release, the surrender as the warmer air exits your body. Rest your entire attention on this simple, repetitive, life-sustaining rhythm. The in-breath, the out-breath, this is the entire practice. Inevitably, your mind will wander. This is not a mistake. This is not a sign of failure. It is simply the nature of a mind that has been trained for distraction. A thought will arise. What am I doing? I have so much to do. Did I remember to send that email? A sound will pull you away. An itch will demand your attention. When this happens, the instruction is simple and profound. Notice that your mind has wandered. Acknowledge it gently without frustration. And then, with the kindness you would show to a small child, gently guide your attention back to the breath, back to the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. This is the core of the work, the wandering and the gentle returning. Each time you return your focus to the breath, you are performing a single rep of a sacred exercise. You are strengthening your muscle of attention. You are choosing consciousness over automaticity. You are reclaiming your power from the chaos. For these 10 minutes, this is your only job, to be with your breath, to notice when you are not, and to return again and again and again. This is the drink of pure presence. You are steeping your entire being in the healing waters of stillness. You are allowing the noise to settle, the clutter to be seen, and the system to reset. Do this every day. This 10-minute act of disciplined stillness is the most potent cleanse you will ever experience. It purifies not just the body, but the very source of its imbalance, the mind. As you continue this practice day after day, something remarkable begins to happen. In the container of stillness you create, the inner clutter starts to reveal itself more clearly. At first, the silence may feel loud. The thoughts, anxieties, and unresolved emotions that you have been successfully ignoring through constant activity and distraction will come to the forefront. This can be uncomfortable. It can feel like you are more anxious, more agitated than before. This is a critical stage. It is not that you are creating more noise. It is that you are finally stopping long enough to hear the noise that has been there all along. You are opening the closets of your inner home and the contents are spilling out. This is the emptying out process. It is the core of the cleanse. The practice is not about forcing these thoughts and feelings away. It is not about fighting with your own mind. It is about changing your relationship to the clutter. The instruction remains the same. You observe. A difficult memory arises. Instead of either grabbing onto it and spiraling into the story, or violently pushing it away, you simply notice it. Ah, there is a memory. You acknowledge its presence like a cloud passing in the sky of your awareness. You feel the emotional charge it carries in your body, a tightness in the chest, a heat in the face. You observe these physical sensations without judgment, and you return to the breath. By doing this, you are untangling the knots of your past. You are taking your energy back from old stories. An emotion is simply energy in motion. It is meant to be felt and then to pass through you. The blockages are created when we resist this flow, when we suppress the anger, numb the sadness, or deny the fear. This suppressed energy gets stuck in the body, becoming the toxic sludge in our system. The practice of mindful observation allows this trapped energy to finally move. As you sit in stillness, you are creating a safe space for these old emotions to surface and be released. You might feel waves of sadness, flickers of anger, pangs of regret. Let them come, let them be felt, and let them go, returning always to the anchor of your breath. This is the true purification. It is an act of profound self-compassion. You are allowing yourself to finally process the unprocessed. You are metabolizing your life experiences. Each time a thought or emotion arises and you meet it with calm, non-judgmental awareness before returning to your breath, you are cleansing your nervous system. You are teaching your mind that it does not have to be a slave to every thought that appears. You are realizing that you are not the thoughts. You are the awareness that is watching the thoughts. This realization is the beginning of true freedom. The feeling of emptiness that results from this practice is not a void. It is not a sterile absence. It is a spaciousness. It is the feeling of a clean, orderly home. The clutter is gone, and in its place, there is peace. There is clarity. There is an open space where intuition can be heard, where creativity can arise, where a deep sense of well-being can take root. This is the emptiness of potential. It is the fertile ground from which a more conscious, intentional life can grow. It is a slow, gradual process, this emptying out. But with each session of practice, you are sweeping away a little more of the dust, letting in a little more of the light. You are becoming lighter, not just in body, but in spirit. Sustaining clarity. The feeling of clarity that arises from the practice is beautiful, but it can also be fleeting. A single 10-minute session can bring profound peace, but then you must re-enter the chaotic world. The emails, the demands, the noise, they are all still there, waiting to pull you back into the storm. The goal of this path is not to achieve a temporary state of bliss in isolation, but to learn how to sustain that inner clarity amidst the challenges of daily life. The 10-minute practice is not the end goal, it is the training ground. It is where you forge the tools you will use throughout the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. Sustaining clarity is about integration. It is about taking the stillness off the cushion and carrying it with you. How can this be done? It begins by creating small pockets of presence throughout your day. You do not need to sit in formal meditation. You can practice while washing the dishes. Instead of letting your mind race about your worries, bring your full attention to the sensation of the warm water on your hands, the sound of the plates, the smell of the soap. For 1 minute, be fully there. This is a mini cleanse. You can do this while walking to your car. Feel the sensation of your feet on the ground, the feeling of the air on your skin. Be present. Another powerful tool for sustaining clarity is to become a gatekeeper of your own mind. You have cleansed the inner home. Now you must be more mindful of what you allow back inside. This means making conscious choices about your consumption, not just of food, but of information and media. Do you really need to read every breaking news alert designed to trigger your anxiety? Do you need to scroll endlessly through the curated lives of others, feeding your own sense of lack? Begin to notice how different inputs make you feel. Does this content leave you feeling agitated and drained, or inspired and calm? Be ruthless in curating your mental diet. Unfollow, unsubscribe, mute. You have a responsibility to protect your inner peace. Furthermore, sustaining clarity requires a commitment to your physical vessel. The mind-body connection is a two-way street. Just as a calm mind can heal the body, a healthy body can support a clear mind. This means moving your body in ways that feel good. It means nourishing it with whole, real foods that provide stable energy, not the frantic highs and lows of processed sugar and stimulants. It means honoring your need for rest and sleep, which is the body's essential time for repair and consolidation. These are not separate from your spiritual practice. They are an integral part of it. To care for your body is an act of reverence for the home of your spirit. Ultimately, sustaining clarity is a practice of returning. You will lose your center. You will get caught up in drama. You will find yourself lost in thought, disconnected from the present moment. This is guaranteed. The measure of your practice is not in never falling, but in how quickly and gently you notice you have fallen and how you choose to come back. The moment you realize you are lost in stress, take one conscious breath. That one breath is a powerful act of return. It is a re-anchoring in the present. It is a reminder of the peace that is always available beneath the surface of the noise. The practice is not about achieving a permanent, unshakable state of perfection. It is about building a relationship with your own awareness, a compassionate commitment to return to your center again and again and again, moment by moment, breath by breath. True nourishment. Once the process of emptying out has begun, once space has been created within you, a new and important question arises. With what will you fill this space? Nature abhors a vacuum. If you do not consciously choose what to cultivate in your newly cleansed inner world, the old habits of clutter and distraction will rush back in to fill the void. The second half of the journey after the cleanse is about true nourishment. It is about intentionally planting a new garden in the fertile soil of your clear mind. This is not about consumption, but about cultivation. True nourishment for the spirit comes from sources that deepen your connection, not from those that offer distraction. It comes from spending time in nature, to walk in a forest, to sit by the ocean, to simply observe the sky. This is to drink a different kind of elixir. Nature does not demand anything from you. It does not try to sell you anything. It simply is. And in its presence, it reminds your own nervous system of its natural rhythms. It recalibrates you to a pace of being that is more ancient and wise than the frantic urgency of the digital world. Make time for this. It is not an indulgence. It is a necessity for a well-nourished soul. Nourishment also comes from meaningful human connection, not the superficial connection of a like on a screen, but the deep presence of being with another person. To listen to someone without planning your response, to share your own vulnerability, to feel seen and to truly see another, this is a powerful source of spiritual and emotional food. In our age of increasing loneliness and digital isolation, the courage to connect authentically is a revolutionary act. Choose to spend your time with people who uplift you, who challenge you to be better, and with whom you can be your true self. This connection feeds a part of you that no amount of success or material gain ever can. Creativity is another form of profound nourishment. Every human being has a creative impulse, a desire to bring something new into the world. It does not have to be a masterpiece. It can be in how you arrange flowers, how you cook a meal, how you write in a journal, how you approach a problem at work. To engage in a creative act is to connect with a source of energy that is larger than your individual ego. It is an act of channeling, of play, of discovery. It fills the inner space not with more information, but with more life force, more vitality. Find what makes you feel creative and make space for it, no matter how small. Finally, the deepest nourishment comes from a connection to purpose, to a sense of meaning that is larger than your own personal comfort and desires. This could be service to others, dedication to a craft, the raising of a family, or the pursuit of wisdom. When your actions are aligned with a deep sense of purpose, your life gains a new dimension. Your energy is no longer wasted on trivialities because it is being channeled towards something that matters to you. This sense of purpose is the ultimate food for the soul. It provides a why that can sustain you through any how. After you have cleansed the inner home, do not leave it empty. Fill it with nature, with authentic connection, with creativity, and with purpose. This is how you build a life not just of temporary lightness, but of enduring, vibrant, and deeply nourishing substance. As you cultivate this inner stillness, this clarity, you will begin to notice that it is not a private, contained experience. The state of your inner world inevitably radiates outward and affects the environment and the people around you. Your presence becomes a form of communication more powerful than your words. When you are internally chaotic, agitated, and distracted, that energy is palpable. People feel it. It creates a subtle, or sometimes not so subtle, tension in the room. Conversations are strained, connections are missed, and a sense of unease prevails. Your inner chaos becomes a shared chaos. Conversely, when you have cultivated a space of inner peace and presence, that quality also radiates. Think of a time you were in the presence of someone who was truly calm and centered. There is a sense of safety, of ease. Your own nervous system begins to regulate itself in response to theirs. This is not a mystical phenomenon. It is a biological one, rooted in our nature as social creatures. Your regulated nervous system acts as a tuning fork for those around you. Your stillness becomes an invitation. It creates a space where others feel safe enough to let down their own armor, to be more authentic, to speak more from the heart. This has profound implications for all of our relationships. In a family setting, a parent who practices this inner work brings a gift of peace to the entire household. Instead of reacting with anger and frustration to the natural chaos of family life, they can respond with a grounded presence. This doesn't mean they are passive or permissive. It means their actions come from a place of clarity rather than reactivity. They become a stable anchor in the emotional storms of their children. This is one of the greatest gifts one can give. In the workplace, a leader or colleague who is present and centered can de-escalate conflict, foster better collaboration, and create an atmosphere where people can do their best work without the draining effect of constant stress. Your practice of inner cleansing is therefore not a selfish act. It is an act of service to the world. In a world drowning in noise, anxiety, and division, a single person who embodies stillness is a lighthouse. You do not need to preach. You do not need to convert anyone. You simply need to do your own inner work. Your presence will be your teaching. Your calm will be your contribution. The peace you cultivate within yourself becomes a silent offering to everyone you meet. It is a ripple effect. Your regulated nervous system helps to regulate another, who in turn may interact with a third person with a little more patience, a little more kindness. Do not underestimate the power of this. We often feel helpless in the face of large global problems, but we forget that the macrocosm is a reflection of the microcosm. The world is as chaotic as it is because it is filled with billions of chaotic inner worlds. The only place you can truly begin to effect change is within yourself. By committing to your own inner peace, you are casting a vote for a more peaceful world. You are adding one small steady flame to the collective darkness. Your shared stillness is a quiet revolution. It is the humble, powerful way you contribute to the healing of the whole, simply by healing yourself. You came here seeking a way to cleanse your body, but the journey has led us much deeper, to the very source of both our suffering and our liberation, the inner world of our own awareness. The ultimate truth is this: the body is not a machine to be fixed, but a garden to be tended. And the quality of the tending is determined by the state of the gardener, your mind. You cannot expect a vibrant garden if the gardener is distracted, anxious, and neglectful. The work always is on the gardener. The desire for a quick fix, for a 10-minute potion, is a symptom of a world that has forgotten the beauty of process. We want the flower, but we have no patience for the seed, the soil, the rain, or the slow, silent work that happens in the dark. The true path to well-being is to fall in love with the process, to fall in love with the 10 minutes of sitting, even when it's difficult, to find the beauty in the gentle act of returning your attention to your breath, to honor the courage it takes to face your inner clutter with compassion. This is the work of a lifetime, and it is the most meaningful work you will ever do. The cleanse is not an event, it is a way of being. It is the conscious choice, moment by moment, to turn away from the noise and toward the stillness. It is the commitment to protect your inner peace as your most valuable asset. It is the understanding that true strength is not the ability to withstand more stress, but the wisdom to create less of it in the first place by mastering your own mind. You already have everything you need. The drink is your own attention. The ingredients are your breath and your willingness. The 10 minutes is a sacred appointment with yourself that you can make at any time. Do not see this as another task to add to your list. See it as an act of profound subtraction. You are not adding a new complexity. You are removing the layers of noise and illusion that have been obscuring the peace that is already and always within you. It is your birthright. The lightness you seek is not in an empty colon, but in an uncluttered mind. The freedom you crave is not from the world, but from your own reactive patterns. Begin today. Not with a grand gesture, but with a single conscious breath. That is the first drop of the most powerful elixir there is. That is the beginning of the only cleanse that truly lasts. This teaching arrived at the exact moment I needed it. The metaphor of the cluttered inner home is something I've felt for years but never had the words for. Which words in this video brought you back to your center today?